Peace, love, and blessings. This is the Sacred Empress Alitash, your melanated Mayan mystic with the Mayan moon energy for today, May 14th, 2024. Before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment and point out all the places you can find me on social media. I also have a QR code here. This lets you know where you can find me in all the places about me that are not listed here. So if you have access to a phone, you can scan that QR code and you can find out more things about me. So please take a moment and check that out. So when we talk about the Mayan calendar or the Mayan energy of the day, we use the token, the sacred calendar, the Mayan calendar, literally the count of days. There's 260 days, 20 signs, 13 tones or spirit energy, which equates to 260 days of gestation for a human being, 20 fingers and toes, and 13 joints. The Mayan calendar is divination, prophecy, and it gives direction. We start with the year bearer, the white overtone wizard. The white lets us know that this year is all about adjustments. It's about making things pure, and it's about organizing as well. The white wizard lets us know that this year is about the enchant. It is what we say to ourselves over and over again. It's what we say to ourselves and how we fill ourselves with delight. Receptivity is all about what we're receptive to, what we're open to, what we are attracting, and where we need to effectively place boundaries. We also cannot deal with the white wizard without dealing with the aspect of time. Time is something that is not real, but we impose time limits on ourselves all the time. So we're definitely in a relationship with time this year, finding out what we give our time to and what things we want to stand the test of time. We're also dealing with the overtone tone of radiance. This spirit energy allows us to work on empowerment, and it also allows us to work on commanding our space, being in authority of our own lives, and being in charge of who and what we actively become. We are currently in the ripen cycle. This is the harvest period. We have approximately 2 to 3 days left. I'm not sure of the date today, you guys. Don't judge me. 2 days left, actually, until we start the enchantment cycle. And the enchantment cycle is a lovely period also that allows us to enchant ourselves and get our minds together for what we want to experience next. But we'll talk more about that in the days to come. We currently have 3 days left of the harvest cycle. So we have had opportunities to see what we have been working on and how they are playing out in the natural world. So your harvest should be great, and you have 3 more days of that. So now we talk about the current 13-day cycle of power, the Yellow Warrior Wave spell, and what a powerful energy that ends the ripen or harvest cycle for us. Because it gives us opportunity to test our warrior. Everybody has a warrior inside, but this is the way that we work this yellow warrior energy. We have to be open and receptive and aware of where we are to ask questions. Ask questions about the things we don't know and things that we need more insight on. So we also tap into fearlessness. We cannot be a warrior and not deal with an aspect of fear. Everybody has some kind of thing that they're afraid of, but the important thing is to learn how to walk away from that fear, or actually to be able to take our power back from fear and move in our power. And when we ask questions, we become more knowledgeable or put ourselves in a space where we can start to understand how life is working. So we are able to tap into natural intelligence. We are born from a natural intelligence, whether we call it God, Yahweh, Jehovah, higher self. Um, we all have a natural intelligence. And some ways that we can utilize this natural intelligence as well as when we tap into our inner self. Now, this week, the moon is void 5 of 7 days. That lets us know that this week is about focusing in on the self. And so it's a great time to to sit in prayer, to meditate, to do card readings and gather answers from the means in which we feel are a little bit beyond ourselves. Now, currently, we are in the time capsule of output. So, when we're in the Yellow Warrior Wave spell, it is all about expression. It is all about letting us know where we are and being ourselves 100% or closer if we are working on ourselves and not quite there yet. So today's tone and the tone of the month is the tone and spirit energy of liberation. Now, we've talked a lot about liberation as this is the month of liberation. If you have not got the opportunity, please check my podcast, The Melanated Mayan Mystic, where I went in depth about the tone of liberation. There's a QR code at the beginning and at the end of this video. You can tap into that, hit the podcast. It will take you right there. I only have one podcast up to today, but we'll be filling that up soon. So you definitely should check that out about liberation. But when we're talking about liberation, it's about setting ourselves free of things and people that have been holding us back. And so they leave two of different ways. When situations have run their course, they will dissolve naturally. And then when there's other situations that we're holding on to energy and people and situations that are going on just because we're powering them, then we have to actively release them as well. So, when we let things run their course, they dissolve naturally. And when we don't, we have to release. So it's important to free our mind, know our worth, and act accordingly because we have a lot of opportunities ahead of us and we cannot tap into them unless we free up space. So now let's talk about the Mayan energy of today, the white spectral world bridger, and let's go ahead and get into that. So again, because the white world bridger is white, we know that's all about refinement. So just like the white wizard, we are detoxing, we are adjusting, we are organizing, we are making things pure. When we focus on the white world bridger, we have a wonderful opportunity to put the things that we can tap into on an equal footing. And when we equalize our opportunities, we know which ones we need to transition out of and which ones we need to give more attention to. So the White World Bridger helps deal with transition. So it helps us to adjust and it also helps us to see what our opportunities are so we can let go of the things we need to let go of. Now we are currently today in the energy of store, and that means we have access to our internal records. So we go into our DNA, we go into our memories, we go into the Akashic records. There are memories that need to come up in order for us to make the transitions and moves that we need to make today. And the White World Bridger is going to let us know what opportunities we have, what opportunities have um, taken their full course, and then we can move forward. Some well known white spectral world bridgers are Naomi Campbell, Monique Samuels from the Real Housewives of Atlanta and other shows, Shelley Fabares, and John Biggerstaff. So, again, we've already talked about that tone of liberation, and it's definitely time to free ourselves. We have places to go, people to see, things to do, and we have to liberate ourselves from the things that no longer serve us. So, today we're going to be dealing with the solar plexus chakra. So, again, the focus is on the self. We have gotten this message from the new moon that was associated with Taurus and also the blue storm, where that energy was all about focusing on the self regulating, self existing, and self generation. The focus is on the self. And so the solar plexus is also focusing on the self worth, personal power, self respect, self control. Again, the theme of us focusing on ourselves is so real right now. We have a lot of things that are coming forth and coming available because we've been doing the work, and we have to be able to focus on ourselves. It's a kind of a weeding process. So again, that self-generation, that self-existing and self-regulating is important, because then we begin to realize our worth, our power, and respect for ourselves. And that solar plexus is helping us with this so we can move forward in our power. So some oils we can use or herbs are rose oil, lemongrass, and juniper. We also have topaz, citrine, and tiger's eye as stones that we can use. Um, Again, I've been talking about the self a lot, so make sure you go to my YouTube channel, look at the new moon in Taurus, because that gives us a lot of information. The podcast on liberation also gives us a lot of information, and the Wave Spell of the Yellow Warrior is also on YouTube, so it helps you to go into more depth about moving in power and harvesting and things of that nature. Now, in a few days, we're going to be moving into a new wave spell, which will teach us about how to enchant. So, if we're not exactly where we want to be, we're going to run this back with the enchantment cycle, and then it puts us into a whole new cycle. The other chakra that we're working with today is the throat chakra. So, self expression, creativity. Again, the focus is on the self. The moon being void the majority of the week forces us to deal with things that have already been going on, and we're going to need to say the things we need to say. And the question aspect of the yellow warrior is supported with the throat chakra. So, some crystals that we can use for the throat chakra: turquoise, blue agate, blue topaz, aquamarine. Some oils: lang lang, lavender, blue chamomile, and they're also herbs as well. Today is Tuesday. Tuesday are Mars days. We set our intentions and rituals toward our energy, actions, conquering our obstacles, dealing with aggression and conflict, tapping into our passion. Okay, today the moon is in Leo. We are in a waxing crescent moon. This energy is gaining the light on anything that we put into action on that new moon in Taurus that we just experienced. The Leo energy allows us to focus on creativity, focus on love, self love, focus on our inner child and our children as well. So some things that I have going on are Mayim on Mondays. That is a Zoom call that happens every Monday. We go over the Mayan moon and energy, so the Mayan calendar and what Grandma Moon is doing for the week. Definitely great information if you're able to tap into that time. I also have the Mayan Moon Calendar subscription. This allows you to follow the Mayan calendar every day. It lets you know where the moon is, where the calendar is, the energies that are going on, so you know how to tap in appropriately. Also, the Mayan birth reading, this lets you know what your power is. It lets you know, are you an initiator? Do you adjust well? Are you a transformer, or are you a avid manifester? And so you understand what your powers are, how you came to be where you are in life, and you definitely get direction on how to move forward powerfully. Now, I talked a little bit about the enchantment cycle. The enchantment cycle starts on the 17th. That's a 52-day cycle that allows us to enchant ourselves, to get ourselves prepared for bigger and better things. So, the first thing we always have to do is get our mind right. And the enchantment cycle is an ancient art of mental shape shifting. So we get into our brain, we get to tell it all the good things that we want to become and reprogram for success. So this is the Sacred Empress Alitash, your melanated Mayan mystic. Again, these are the places that you can find me online, along with my online shop. And if you can use that QR code, you can find out a lot more things that are available. So thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Be you 100%. Peace, love, and blessings.